Hey everyone, what's up? It's Ellie here. Today we're going to be looking at everything that we know about Jacob Boyer, the Deadeye with an undead eye. Jacob Boyer is one of Redfall's 4 launch heroes, an ex-military sharpshooter who joined the military as soon as they were old enough, rose through the ranks, and eventually became part of the Special Forces unit in which he took on a series of recon and combat assignments, becoming a specialist in long-range, high-powered rifles. Jacob moved onwards to join the ranks of Bellwether as a mercenary, a private military organisation that took on top-secret contracts for governments and corporations around the globe. One corporation in particular brought his unit to the small, quaint town of Redfall just before the sun went down, under mysterious orders only known to his superiors. The elite private security force was separated, and Jacob was forced to stalk the streets of Redfall alone. But after a chance encounter with what we believe was a vampiric god, Jacob was left with a mysterious vampiric undead eye, a spectral raven, and a few other ghostly abilities. Jacob has 3 major abilities that allow him to neutralize the evil of Redfall from the shadows with his supernatural precision. The first ability we'll be talking about is the Cloak. And I think the cloaking ability from Jacob is going to be one that really allows players the freedom to play Jacob in a solo manner. Particularly if you want to stay true to the stealthy recon sniper playstyle, but find yourself absolutely surrounded by aggravated enemies. There's usually some sort of hindrance to total invisibility, particularly in arcane games, but with Jacob and Redfall, the cloak is upgradable in a couple of different ways to make it one of the most powerful abilities in the arcane universe, right up there with Blink. It works just like the standard invisibility powers, for example, Sombra from Overwatch. There's a time limit that slowly ticks away and the invisibility wears off if you decide to damage an enemy. However, the skill tree's available upgrades allow you to fully invest in the cloaking ability to not only extend the time spent totally invisible, but you can also invest skill points into being able to damage enemies while staying completely invisible. The cloak can also be upgraded to give Jacob a shield for when things get a little sticky. The cloak doesn't have a massively long cooldown time, but even that can be shortened by participating in a small amount of uncloaked combat. What this essentially means is that if things get too intensive and chaotic for a long-range sniper, Jacob can run off and give himself some distance and time to heal up and cool off. The cloak can be used to completely ignore enemies and to get to certain objective points, or maybe even to scout an area in a group setting. And speaking of a group setting, the ability can also cover other teammates in close range. I believe this is with a potential upgrade. We've only really seen this once in a very small snippet of gameplay. However, though you can choose quite a stealthy playstyle with Jacob, completely non-lethal pathways do not exist as they do in Dishonored. Jacob was trained on recon, but he was built for the kill. Another awesome ability that I think we missed was one that we could spot and track enemies through walls with, much like Dishonored's Dark Vision. Jacob's Raven, who he refers to as Wormbrain, not very endearingly, is an ethereal avian enigma who is bound to Jacob. Casting the Raven ability will shoot them in the direction you choose to spot any enemies in its path, whether it be around corners or through walls, to highlight them to the players around you and give you an audible cue for each enemy spotted. The Raven flies a reasonable distance to ensure that you can stay as far back as you need to get the best vantage shot for your sniping capabilities. And I am sorry to say that the Raven cannot be pet by the player. This is probably due to the mysterious nature of the relationship between Jacob and the spectral Raven. Jacob knows how much more of an advantage he has with the newly acquired powers, but at the same time understands that the nature of those powers is rooted in some sort of evil. There could even be a level of self-hatred going on, or an understanding that once this evil within Redfall is dealt with, it will all go away. As I said earlier, Jacob Boyer has been in the military from as soon as they were old enough to join. Jacob probably isn't the most affectionate human anyway. Lastly, let's talk about Jacob's crazy powerful Hearstopper ultimate. Once the ability is triggered, a supernaturally strong silent sniper rifle will spawn, locking onto the heads of visible enemies and rapidly eliminating them within a countdown of a few seconds. Each second usually kills about 1 enemy in clear sight instantly. However, it is possible to miss, note the B-roll. Now, usually to kill a vampire in Redfall, you have to stake them through the heart. But this supernatural weapon allows Jacob to slay vampires with a clean shot through the face, no trees harmed. However, if you're not Jacob, sniping vamps is still all too possible with the stake launcher, which allows players to stake a vampire through the heart with a uniquely designed Divinda special. Jacob's Spectral Sniper can also be upgraded to last just that little bit longer and to have increased ammo to absolutely clear open spaces and give you and your team a massive upper hand. It's easy to say that by picking Jacob, you are going to be one of the most powerful heroes in the game. If you're looking for some smooth gameplay with the least chaotic route, I think Jacob Boyer should be your first pick when we jump into Redfall in May. Thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know down in the comments who you'll be playing in Redfall and why. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!